クラブゲームキャプテン翼ドリームチーム
Hello.
Yes. Hello. 还没有 start 在 edit 一些东西。
いけ翼
Hi guys, welcome to Tsubasa. This is TK.
Hey guys, Kozo here. Welcome.
So today, are we going to see a very high energy Kozo talking?
Nope. Maybe
Okay.
a high energy TK might be more likely.
How are you guys doing? Hi King. Hi Aravin. Hi Mikal. Hi everyone. So today we will start talking about the players, of course, as usual. He will join if he will join because it's a bit early for him. Not sure whether he wake up already.
Keep chanting for his name, then he might appear.
Alright guys, let's kickstart with why not we start with Stein? Alright. So as you see his stats, he's got a 10k shots. Dribble is quite decent, pass is good. His tackle is good as well. Intercept is a bit weak. Physical not so great, as in speed and technique. Power is 7k. So he's a full body stand player. So full body stand player is always good. 20%. And most importantly, he comes with the missing dynamic sliding tackle. Do you think the sliding tackle is important?
At the moment, no. Unless another Stein is to appear down the road. Because the Dream Collection Stein doesn't really need this. I mean, with this tackle, he doesn't really win much. Won't be winning much tackles anyway.
Okay. So Sonic Pass is useful as well. I believe this time round, at that time when he was featured in Dream Collection again, did the Dream Ball shop have this Sonic Pass? I think they did, right?
I think it's up now, right? If I'm not wrong.
I don't think it's available now. I think what is available is the dribble and intercept. Let me double check.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
So they want to make you pull for this guy. Just for the skills.
You see?
Ah, okay.
So I was wondering during the Dream Collection, when he was refeatured, did they sell the Sonic Pass? Can anyone?
I think if they sold it, it will still be at the bottom, right? It doesn't expire.
Oh,
That
really?
yeah,
I-
I'll probably check.
Hi, Dimas. Good to see you. Da-da-da-da-dum. That's a lot of skills actually. And I'm still scrolling.
I don't even remember these guys.
What? And I am still scrolling. Wow. Nope.
Oh,
So, back to Stein. So, if that's the case, right, actually getting him, especially if you can get him at 30 dBs, right, is great. So, you get two mid to mid tier skills for 30 dBs, which is quite a catch, in my opinion. Hi, Natureza. Hi, Tintin. Hi, Nuts. Calusius. YouTube, right? The YT means YouTube, right? Am I right?
yeah, probably.
I know, right, Tintin? That's a lot of skills. A lot. So, not a bad deal, right? Considering you get two of the skills that you don't even have to sacrifice him.
Yeah, I pulled to that. What is it? Is that 5? 30 dBs, right?
Right.
I did not get him, but then I was encouraged to go further by my club because of CVC. So yeah, I got him at the 9th step, I think.
Okay. Honestly, I have the same sedimentals. Sediments. I don't think he needs the tackle. I seriously don't think he needs, because the only time that he can really tackle, right, is within full power. So outside of full power, right, even if you commit 25 tackle and 25 speed, right, he won't be able to do much. I mean, for the Dream Collection time. Anyways, hi Hassan Yagi. What's going on? So anyways, let's check out his hidden abilities. So he comes with 2.5% bond and a 3% debuff. Both needing 3 or more toughness type players, regardless of region. And this I don't really like, but it doesn't matter because it's only 5%. Will to win. So when you're leading, you get an additional 5%. So this is actually really good. The stamina cost down because he's a full body stand player. So it means that you can maintain the high percentage of full body stand slightly longer. And he also comes with this direct hotline. So Brian, his brother Brian will get 5% if he receives a pass from him. So overall, I think the design of him is, if he is not a debuff-centric player, right, I think he should do well in a regular team as well. But just because of he is more of a debuff-centric, so if you do not have a debuff team, right, it's really difficult and hard to really fit him into your team because you lose a lot of bonds.
Yep.
So, not sure what you guys think. I think for me, I don't play a debuff team. Or at least I can build a debuff team, but my main team is not a debuff team. So, all the debuff players, right, to me, they are not very desirable in that sense. I would rather go for players that have probably 3% bonds and 3.5% shield. I think that makes more sense to me if I were to collect players that are not solely focused on bonds.
Yeah, debuffers are only desirable for debuff teams, so there's no like, you can't really build a half debuff, half shield or half bonds team. That is not ideal.
Right. Arvin is saying that he is not a top pick. He is asking. He is not a top pick for debuff team, right? To be honest, he can pair with the other debuff Brian, but the problem is you need the Dream Collection version of both of them. Then you can pass over the strongest shot to them. So with the current shot, right, it's not very strong. 440. Actually, it's not strong. It's actually quite weak for a shot. And who do you think is the strongest debuff striker right now? I think Hino, right?
Yep, Hino for sure.
Yeah, so if you are playing a debuff team, Hino is your go-to guy, the next stream version.
Yeah, another thing I want to point out is that the debuff Brian, right, is a super sub. So it's even if you feed both of them the skills, the combination skills, this guy will not be very useful in the first half without Brian also.
Oh, that's such a bummer. Okay, yes, right. King is saying that most players in this game can't achieve 40% bond. So that's why they go for the buff team. I agree and don't agree actually.
I mean, if the game wants you to me, right, the game dictates what kind of teams you play by the kind of pools you get. So if you are constantly getting debuff players, then yeah, playing a debuff team is the smart thing to do instead of having a team that is low in bonds and not much shields, is waiting to be slaughtered.
Right. So it actually depends on. That's right. That's a very good point. It actually depends on who you get, who the game actually gives you.
Yeah, and one more thing to point out. A lot of good debuff players are available in next stream banners, and next stream banners are one of the most generous banners out there with like a 5-step guarantee featured, and it's a looping banner some more. So yeah, I think if you are lucky enough to get some key debuff pieces, right, like the debuff goalkeeper espadas, and then yeah, I would think building a debuff team is.
Alright, Best SSJJ, we are going to talk about the next stream in like 2 minutes. In exactly 2 minutes. Alright, so overall, for this banner, right, I don't think it's crucial. But if if you're playing a debuff team, right, I don't think he is great. Unless
Other alternatives.
Right, unless you really have all the resources to make it work, as in you are playing Brian as a super sub, then you bring Brian on in the second half and you play Stein in the second half. If you really want to make them work, I think that's the only way, right? Because if you're playing a debuff team, you cannot afford to have 1 or 2 players without debuff. Because if that's the case, right, then it defeats the whole purpose of building a debuff team. Hi, Natureza. Alright, let's move on to the next stream banner, which we are going to start with Ocharo. So Ocharo comes with an amazingly high base shot, 12k. So scary, but power only 6.3k. But this is not the only Ocharo with this high base shot. Actually, the regular gacha version is also at 12k if I'm not wrong. Anyway, he comes with another awkward. He's always awkward, right?
Yeah, there's always something about him that makes it difficult to use him. Whether the lack of good or skills, play the guessing game, or something like this, being an attacking midfielder and needing to enter the penalty area.
Right. So, Naturazer, we will talk about how you pronounce that. Mampa. Bapa. You don't pronounce the M?
Mbappa.
Mbappa. I see. We'll talk about Mbappa in just a minute after we finish Ocharo. So DMM saying that this Stein is food for the DC version. Well, you can say that, but I don't think it is so important that you must get the tackle right now. Since this player is a regular gacha player, it can drop anytime, anywhere, when you are most unexpected. Even if you pull your SSR ticket, there's a chance of getting him.
Yeah, I mean, since I got the tackle and the times where I've been playing PvP with him, with that tackle, I have not even used it once. There's simply no occasion where, I know that if I use it, I will win the ball.
Unless it's against a very, 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 very weak dribbler. And you have Brian.
Very weak dribbler will not match up with Stein.
Accidental matchup. It happens. Anyways, back to Ocharo. So he comes with a 20% penalty area master, which I think is really difficult for him because he's an AM. Although he does have the S shuffle 1-2. It's still not great. Let's look at his stats. Say his stats is actually not that bad, as in his base dribble and pass are all over 8k. Speed is a bit low for my liking. I mean, for me, a decent player should have around 6k speed. So he's just slightly below par. Technique is quite okay, but still not great. So, he comes with 3% bond and 4.5% shield. Wow, that is quite a bit of shield. 4.5% is quite a lot. And skill block cancel, special skill block 60% chance. I don't have very good experience with 60% chance. Maybe it's just me.
I mean, same here. I see 80% and I get disappointed often by 80%. 60% is like, for me, it's like waiting for a miracle.
Yeah, and Ocharo skills are not those like 490 dribble, or you don't get a 475 pass. So actually, skill blocking for him is almost crucial. Although he comes with an inside master of 15%, just a mere 15%. I mean, if he can improve this inside master by maybe like 10%, maybe he will become decent. Okay, the thing is, he needs to get into the box, right? So he have only one option. 1-2. You don't even need to guess, right? It depends on where he's standing.
Yeah, this is not like in the past where, you have a bit of time to dribble or something like that. Now if you dribble near the box, it's instant matchup with someone else.
Right. So lastly, he's got this stamina cost down. Not saying that he really needs it, but I think it's okay. Stamina is not that low, so 10%. I don't see much use in it. They could have given him something else. Probably auto intercept to increase his value.
I mean, the special skill block and inside master is usually a good combination. These two coming together, but for him it's only 60% evasion and 15% inside master. So yeah, even though it's a good set of hidden abilities be on the low side. Plus, nowadays a lot of defenders, they all have 2 tackles, 2 intercept. So you might not even get to bully with when you skill block something.
Right. I was looking at his numbers the other day, and even if he blocks a defender's, like let's say the defender cannot tackle, his dribble still might get bullied, you know, because nowadays all the defenders, right, all the defensive skills are so crazy. I mean, they can bully you easily if you are not one of the top tier playmakers or forwards, you know.
Yep. Also, I mean, one way to utilize him, right, is to wait for him to get into the box and then feed him the ball with someone else, right? But the problem with him is he doesn't have any aerial shots. So if he's in a matchup in the box, he's also dead. Not like, you know, because his design is a bit like Super Dreamfast Tsubasa long time ago, the toughness type, which is also penalty area master and attacking midfielder. But during that Tsubasa's time, you know, a 1-2 will get you a lot of time, and then for you to be in the box, or you can just feed him with someone else, and his aerial shots are so strong in the box that he can usually shoot past blocks and all that. But this
That's
guy
right.
is just not.
That is right. Hi, Devin. Devin is not here today, so yeah, he's not here. Hey, Delta, how's it going? So let's talk about Baba. Baba.
Ah,
Okay. Look at his shot and dribble, both above 10k. Speed is a bit below par. Technique is weak as well. Power not great. So let's look at his passive. I think this passive is very valuable, especially looking at his position. He's a forward. So defenders and goalkeeper killer 20%. If you play him correctly, right, this should be always active. So yep, that alone increases his value by a lot. The sad part is you see he's given 3 S skills, right? None of them are top tier skills. His 1-2 is not top tier. His dribble is not top tier. His shot is not top tier. He does come with 4.5% bond and requiring only 2 non-Japanese players, skill type non-Japanese players, which means you only need another non-skill type Japanese player. Yeah, I mean skill type non-Japanese player. Which you can... I would imagine that you will play Rival and have Rival pass the ball to him, right?
yeah. Is my audio very low?
Is your audio low? No.
Yeah, someone's commenting.
I can increase it. Actually, your audio... Okay, never mind. I'll try to increase. A bit more.
Oh, Devin is here.
Devin is here, but he's not here.
What?
Yeah. He said he's not here.
See.
Yeah, that's what he said. Oh, hi Ness. I increase your volume.
Okay,
So
thank
is that
you.
better?
Check,
Is that
check.
better?
Is this better, Ness? You can carry on first. It's okay.
Alright, so next up is Stamina Killer 10%. Not much, but still okay, especially if you match up against full body stand players. Full power gauge up after you score. Honestly, I would prefer the full power gauge up when you win a matchup. Matchup win bonus, which will give him a 10% skill force bonus. So remember, this is a skill force win bonus. It's not the stats variety. So I think this 10% is very good. Where if he's given 10% stats, right, for win bonus, right, I don't think it would be so good.
Yeah, this bumps his shot to 520.
Right, scary strong. And back to Natureza, he was saying that this Bappa is not fast enough. Actually, he doesn't need to be fast.
Yeah, he is fast in another way.
Yes. So
He
he's
eats up the distance once his dribble is successful.
right. That's right. That is only one of his weapon. Not to forget, he also come with 1-2. So you just need to make sure that you match him up with a defender. And from that point, right, I don't think he needs to be fast. For those players that really needs to be fast are those that can actually pressure defenders or DMs, or those players that come with auto inset. Those players needs to be fast, and especially those that are reliant on aerial shots. Those is better to have those players faster as well, because they can come back from the offside trap, or they can actually go into the box faster. So for Bappa is different. He's different. He'll beat you outside the box, and then he'll get into the box. After he beats you outside the box, then he will shoot.
Welcome, Cronocloud.
Welcome.
That's right.
Oh my god, you sneaky, very sneaky.
I didn't want you to think I'd forgotten.
So someone was asking if you are coming. So we told them that you should chant your name so that you will come. But I think he really secretly chant. I think so.
Who has summoned me? No. I obviously didn't want to miss the party, so here I am.
All right,
Welcome.
Did you manage to get a coffee?
No.
Oh,
Not yet.
that's unfortunate.
You are getting the freshest Cronocloud possible in the sense that I have literally gotten up from my bed, walked over to the PC, and here I am. It does not get more farm fresh.
That explains the smell. The time you speak.
Oh man, I gotta come up with a good answer of what happens if you say my name in the mirror 5 times. That's a really good question.
You get a rainbow crate. In life, not in the game.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
So, someone asks what I think of the players. You know what? A lot of people are talking smack about the players, but honestly, I think these players are really meant for like the free-to-play person who's looking for a decent player to fill out, a forward role or an AM role. They're not as good as the SDF or even, some of the DF players, but I think they're better than the average gacha player, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think so too. They are better and easier to get as well.
That's right. The barrier to entry on these guys is pretty low, and I think they're very solid for what they are. If you are a whale, these guys are not for you. But if you're an average player, I think these guys have a lot to offer to help you move up, a rank or something like that, or do better at league.
Yeah, totally agree.
All right, so let's move on to Rama. So, Rama has 12.5k shot, the highest in game. I've checked, the highest. So everything else is It's very similar to Mbappe, as in his dribble pass, his defensive aspects, physical wise, he's a bit slower. Power wise, still not hitting the 7K mark. And most importantly, his shot is only 465. He's an inside master, so that gives him 20%. Stats bonus. Let's look at his dribble. His dribble is considered top tier, right? 460. I will argue that it is top tier. For his 1-2 is mid tier, so let's move on. So similarly, he gives 4.5% bond, so requiring only 2 toughness type non-Japanese players. So you just need to play another non-Japanese toughness type player to activate the 4.5% bond, which is, I think, is getting more and more common, right, guys?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know if you guys mentioned this, by the way, but any player that does pick up one of these 3, you absolutely need to go into the skill shop and round out their skills. Like, it's mandatory. So that is a little bit of an annoying thing, but most of the skills aren't too expensive. But I think they're absolutely critical for them to get the maximum utility out of them. You need the extra skills.
I actually do not agree on that though. I'm not a fan of their skills in the skill shop. I find that those are really poor skills, and considering what they do, they probably won't win much even with those skills.
I think it still helps out because of skill block cancel, for example, or skill block, I should say. I think there you can find uses for it for some of the stuff, and sometimes they only come with an A intercept, and the shop has an S intercept as an example.
Right.
Okay, I do feel that the pinpoint pass is really painful. You have to pay 10 DBs, and after that you have to commit 98.
I mean, black balls have. There's a lot of black balls nowadays.
Right, but
The
still,
painful part
Yeah,
for me is the 10 DPs or low momentum pass.
K-Lab is pretty generous, and there's a lot of the what are those called? Shoot, hold on, I'll have it in a second. I gotta open the game up. But you can go in and do the challenges, and they give you so many DBs. But I guess if you're a new player, it would be kind of hard. But if you've been playing for at least a couple of months, it's not too egregious.
I mean, the highest chance for any of them to win a ball, right? Especially when we are talking about Mbappe and Rama, right? I think Mbappe has a very good chance of winning a ball against defenders. But honestly, which defender will match up with
The challenge road, by the way, I just want to be clear because people might be very confused when I'm talking about the challenge road. Gives you a lot of black balls.
right?
So you were saying Mbappe is the one that's going to win the ball the most?
The highest chance, just because of his passive against defenders.
If the opponent allows you a matchup,
Right. So
which is rare.
I have been playing, and actually none of my defenders can win offensive matchups. So honestly, none of my defenders will match up. Most of my defenders, what they'll do, they will win the ball and they'll wide pass the ball. And I believe that is what most people do. So, you know what I mean? So if your stats for your interception is not that high, you don't have auto interception, the chances of you getting wide pass over is high, very high as well. So I don't think with the low momentum skills, right, they can do anything against those meta defensive midfielders and AMs.
Yeah, because nowadays, players won't enter into a matchup if they see that it's disadvantageous too. Like, I'm sure you guys know as well, because in PvP you always enter matchups with your best passer or someone you think can win whoever he's in the matchup with. So yeah, I feel that these guys, the defensive skills, they are nice to have, but for me, even though I have Bappa, right, I don't think I will pay the DBs for them for the skills.
Yeah, and I think the best skill to get is the agile sliding tackle. That tackle is actually not bad. I think it's 435 or 425, I can't remember.
I'm actually only considering the pass, not because it's a good pass or like pass that's capable of beating people, but just so that against a skill blocker he has one more skill that might be blocked.
I would get the swift interception. I think it will help. There are times when you don't control the matchup. I agree with what you're saying that like 80% of the time we are controlling what the matchup is going to be, but there are times when the game creates a matchup that we weren't expecting, and then it could come in handy.
I agree. So that also means that they will only have a chance to match up defensively against, let's say, defenders in a very messy situation. For example, if you are using a punching goalkeeper, right, then your goalkeeper punches through a very crowded place, something like that. So, but the chances of that happening, I don't think it's worth spending. Like, if you get a full package, it's 40 DBs for all the defensive skills. So, yeah, you should pick either one. You should either go for the tackle or the intercept and not both. I don't think it's worth it. So, yeah, just go for either one.
That's fair.
Right. So, anyways, Swift Interceptions got his own perk, because there's a lot of players that have actually Swift Interception. So, if, for example, you invested on Rama, you bought the Swift Interception, right? You can still pass the skill on to somebody else. But it doesn't really matter, because, as you guys say, that Black Ball is like worthless nowadays.
Yeah, I have over 4,000, I think close to 5,000 generic black balls, not counting the skill ones.
I don't have that many. I've got probably like 400 or 500, but 4,000, that's a lot.
And that's only the generic black balls. I still have a ton of those skill specific or player specific ones.
Alright.
Interesting.
So next is the skill block cancel. It cancels one skill. Special skill block cancels one special skill block. Okay. And critical rate up. So this increase your critical rate by two times. Pedal to the metal 15%, and pressure. This pressure is the special pressure. It applies a 5% debuff for special skill force. Not that he is really going to apply unless you're going to pass it to him and match up with the forwards. I mean, when you start the ball, you pass the ball to him, then match up with the opponent's forward. I think that's the only time that he can really apply pressure. Alright, so overall, right, out of these three players, right, the biggest goal threat is actually Mbappa. He is also insanely good at breaking through himself. Either you use 1-2 or his dribble. He is really good. Ocharo is below average. In my opinion, he is below average. And Rama is quite okay. Actually, these two players, right, the Rama and Mbappa, right, they actually have a lot of potential. As in, the skills they have right now are not even great. and they are actually considered above average. So it depends on when they are going to get better skills. So these two players, right, as in Rama and Mbappa, right, might be a decent investment for the future if they release another version of them quickly enough. As for Ocharo, unfortunately, he's got nothing going on for him. I'm so sad because I have not seen a single Ocharo that is good and easy to use. Every single version of him is like so gimmicky. I think the best version of Ocharo is actually the gacha version, the Inside Master version, the Golden 23 gacha version. I think that Ocharo is actually the best. Okay, what do you guys think?
I was gonna say that like lately, Caleb has, we've seen a bit of a pattern where Caleb will release one player and then start releasing gacha / paid versions to supplement their skills. So it wouldn't surprise me if they did that here, but by the same token, these are relatively, these are new players that to the Tsubasa world. So, it's a gamble, basically. Like, we don't know how much love Caleb is going to give these new players. But I would also argue that getting them is not that difficult DB wise to pick up one or two. So I would say if you have, it's a little tough because obviously anniversary is around the corner. Everyone wants to save DBs for the anniversary, and I get that. But I would say if you feel comfortable, if you have some DBs to spare, it's like a bet. You just get one or two and then see what's going to happen to them in the future.
Yeah, not to mention their team skills are quite rare at the moment. So getting them for that is also might be wise in considering where we're going with clubs and all that.
That's a very good point, Kozo.
Then Ocharo disappoints again. 22%. He disappoints yet again.
Yeah, he's the weakest of the bunch, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's meant to be a trap. He's just there just to make sure that you have a chance of getting him instead of the other two.
Right. So, not sure if any of you guys can tell me exactly how this works. Any guys from the chat knows how this works? So, for example, I'm in full power, right? So I will never see a silver crit, right? It's always gold crit and above. Am I right? No?
No, wrong.
Still silver crit.
You're probably likelier to see a gold crit or rainbow crit over someone who doesn't have this, but still doesn't guarantee you a golden in full power.
I see. If that's the case, then thumbs 2 maybe not that useful. We do have thumbs 5, right? 5 times.
7, I think. Ishizaki was 7 or something like that.
Wow.
Very high. I remember very high. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just 5. I'm not sure.
Okay, Romaya, you say that we still can get silver. So, if that's the case and not as valuable as I think it is. Alright, overall thoughts for this banner. Let's start with Cronocloud. Would you actually spend DBs for them with anniversary creeping so closely?
I think, like I said, I think it depends on who you are, right? So I actually, buy DBs. I would consider myself, I think I've made this comment before, I would consider myself like a dolphin as opposed to a whale. Like, I definitely spend money, but I don't like try to go super crazy on them most of the time. So for me, this banner is not super tempting. I might still pull just because I mentioned like these guys might have a bigger role to play in the future. I would say if you're an average player, if you're like, you know, 6 months into the game, you're relatively new, you don't have a meta team or whatever, that's when you should pull. That's the ideal person to pull on this banner. Whale, not so much.
Whales are just gonna pull anyway,
I guess, but the banner's not for them.
even though they
But
don't
yes.
really need it. Yeah.
Yeah, because Wales will most likely have a very strong meta team, and none of these players are actually considered upgrades.
Yeah, but they just pull for the team skill.
That's true.
Considering how easy you can get one in 5 steps, I think they'll just go for it. It's really nothing if you spend a lot.
Okay,
Especially now that like with 1,500 DBs, right, you're guaranteed something in SDF or Dreamfest and Dream Collection. They've already saved so much.
wow. Yeah, that's true. But going back to Cronocloud's point, he's saying that for free to play, right, this is very tempting for them. But with the 1.5k DB PT system in mind, right, wouldn't it better if they will save up to 1.5k DB and guarantee them a strong player during the anniversary?
But I think there's a lot of free-to-play players that can't even get 1,500 DBs. Like if they really saved that long, their team is really obsolete.
I will be really honest with you. My team has not changed since anniversary. None of these players, none, are not from the anniversary. So for 5 months, I don't have any new players. I'm struggling, but I'm still playing the game. So
It
once
sounds to me like you're the ideal person to pull on this banner.
I'm not gonna pull because it's too close to anniversary. I know that. That's why I'm saving. I'm saving. I'm trying to get to 1.5k.
But then you look at your team, right? Even though it's from the anniversary, you know that 1 or 2 good players from the SDF will dramatically improve your team. But for some players out there, right, they might be still using like World Youth Chito as a defender. The scorers might be someone like World Youth Hyuga from Dreamfest and something like that. Then like even if they get SDF players, it doesn't really boost them that much. If they don't pull for this long, 6 months.
If that's the case, right, then they should go for a much safer banner. For me, right, this banner, right, Ocharo is he's the landmine here. So if you pull, there's a 33.3% chance that you get Ocharo. So if you are desperately in need of a forward and you get Ocharo, then you spend all your DBs. Then what will happen to you?
But what other banners are considered better, easier to get what you want? I don't think Caleb gives banners like better than this.
So
I mean the odds. Yes, that's
the other.
odds.
Sorry.
Yeah, the other thing I was going to mention or bring up is that these guys give you a little bit more flexibility on your team in general because their bond requirements are so low, right? If you have older players have requirements of needing 3 or 4 certain, or sometimes even 5 players of a certain kind to get the bond requirement. These guys only require 2, so they give you more flexibility on your team build as well. And it's a high number, so it boosts your overall bond level as well.
Yeah, The bond part is quite important because if you look at the past anniversary players, right, they will need more than three or more. So 3 or more is actually quite a restriction to me. It makes building a team a bit more complicated and restrict the flexibility. Like when you do substitution, you have to keep so many things in mind that you can't change this, can't change that. Yeah, in that sense, this banner is really good.
It is. Yeah.
All right, that will be it. We covered all the players. And we are going to release a video for this next stream part 3. So do keep an eye out for it.
Yeah, I will have my part done today, DK.
That's not what I meant, but okay, thank you.
A very subtle pressure going.
Yeah, I felt a 10% debuff just now.
Hi, Johannes.
What? No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
I know, but I'm not joking.
15% debuff.
It's a skill force type. All right, since we still have a lot of time, can we go back and talk about a very controversial player? I'm not sure if we talked about him last week. I think we did, right?
Which player?
Salinas?
Oh, Salinas.
So, originally, I think they intended to give him 7% forward killer, right? Is that right?
That's our guess. Because of the mistake they made in the announcement. But that's just a guess. So yeah, we won't know for sure.
So,
Pretty much.
I have been playing a few games in PvP, and I do match up with Salinas. Even with this 5%, right, he still can't stop Brian.
I mean,
So-
to be fair, almost nobody can stop Brian. So
Mueller stops Brian most of the time, in my experience. Ken has quite a high percentage of stopping.
well, that's true. Ken, you got me there. Ken, I would argue is probably the best one for stopping Brian.
And I've been watching a few PvP videos as well, and it seems like Salinas is unable to stop Schneider. So there's a lot of players that Salinas can't stop, even with the 5%. What do
Yeah,
you?
that's my experience as well the past few days until this afternoon. Like a few hours earlier, I was playing PvP and I matched. My opponent had Salinas, so I thought I'm gonna score easily with my Brian and Schneider and Stein and all that. But he managed to stop all of them, even in full power and with Schneider in low stamina, things like that. It's very strange.
Okay.
For that one game. But previously, the past few days, I don't have any problems with rankers against him.
So I'm not saying that Salinas is not strong. He is still strong. In fact, he is the number 3 goalkeeper. It's not like you have a lot of choice nowadays. Unless you're playing a debuff team, then the gacha, who's that guy? Who's that Mexican guy? Mexican goalkeeper.
The Mexican guy.
Espadas.
Oh yes,
Espadas.
Espadas. Oh my god. I think I'm getting Sino. I can't remember names. God. Okay, so I
There's
have
a lot of players to keep track of, but yes.
I shouldn't
Yes, you're
forget.
getting
Anyway.
see now, yes.
Thanks. So, what do you think that they could have done to make this Selena at least on par with Mueller and Ken. Instead of this forward killer 5%.
I mean, the only thing I could have done is given them a higher percentage forward killer. Because, that's pretty much it.
I feel like it would be too strong.
He would be too strong. I agree with you. I think he's already pretty strong. I don't think he needs more.
He just happens to be born in the wrong time, because there's a lot of strong strikers out there who can score on him. Otherwise, I don't know. I mean, maybe they should have taken away attacking. No, but that would make him weak to. What's his name?
Matsu.
Matsuyama.
Yeah, age is catching up.
I was going to say that one of the reasons that Ken is so good is because he tends to have type advantage. Being green. That helps him a lot.
What I will feel is to change him not to be hybrid. So I think he will, instead of a puncher, right, I will make him a catcher. And probably instead of long feet, right, then probably I'll give him ignore type. Then the rest can stay.
Is too strong, man, for a goalkeeper. I don't think any keeper should get ignore type.
Really?
Yeah, it's so strong. I mean, usually the best way to score against a keeper now, with all those like killers, passive, and all that around, is to make sure that the type is right.
Okay.
So if a keeper has ignore type, then he's basically has no weak type.
There's actually a keeper with ignore type, but he's not relevant anymore.
Who is he?
Morisaki.
Nice name. Never heard his name among meta keepers.
He was meta for like 5 minutes because he was the full body stand one.
Yeah, right.
That people would bring in on the second half.
All right.
You know what?
Yes.
I feel that instead of changing this guy's hidden abilities, they might as well change up Masayama's. Because Masayama is such a strange one at the moment. If they're okay to just suddenly change hidden abilities for someone like Salinas who just appeared not long and the banner ended and they decided to change it, why not change Matsuyama's?
Well, have you noticed that K-Lab never makes a player weaker? They just make other players stronger. Like K-Lab doesn't have the concept of a nerf. I have never seen a nerf.
They probably feel that if they do that, then people who spend money on player would come after them. But for someone like Salinas, you can also, for some people, this can be considered a nerf, right? Because 5% forward killer doesn't really do much against strong forwards. And now he lost skill block cancel.
Right, actually, skill block cancel, in my opinion, doesn't hurt him too much because he's a hybrid. Especially if you have the fast catch, right? You should just boundary break the shit out of him, and that will increase your skill slots. And skill block, there's only like a 1 out of 7 chance that your punch or your strongest catch will be blocked. So I think skill block cancel is not so important unless you're using him as a vanilla, like a puncher, just a pure puncher. You're not going for a hybrid.
Or if they don't want to like nerf Masayama directly, you can just change the long shooter passive such that it only works from the halfway line onwards. Anything after the halfway line in your own half, if you shoot, there will be some level of distance decay. It really doesn't make sense for him to just shoot from his own penalty box and has the same effect as shooting right in front of the keeper with long shooter.
Yeah, that is actually very. I think that would be a good change, so
It's
that
too toxic.
so people will
yeah.
not dribble all the way back to match up with your forward just to shoot again.
Yeah, at least make him cross the halfway line will attain that, long shooter, the full long shooter passive or something.
Yeah, and for those who are playing Tiger Brand as a AM or a DM, right? Then at least they will have a chance to block it. Too far fetched.
I mean, we can dream.
Well, it's Dream Team. We are supposed to dream, right?
I guess so.
All right. So since we have some time, Xanatis from Teach says that they did somehow nerf Matsu. He has a lot less RNG now. Actually,
Well, so I.
yes.
What does that? What does that mean to you guys? He has a lot less RNG now. Like, what does that mean? Like he scores less randomly? Is that what you mean?
I think
it's
that's what
just,
I mean.
like, okay, sometimes I go through a couple of days where, Masayama, opponent's Masayama cannot score and my Masayama cannot score. I might think that, maybe something did happen behind the scenes. But then in the next few days, we'll be scoring on full stamina, Mueller, or then Ken with his strongest catch will not be able to save it. So I feel that it's all very random. Like, there's really not much sample size for us to know how much he's enjoying off RNG. All that.
I think that's why Cronocloud doesn't understand. Less RNG.
All my games are RNG. You guys have seen some of my games. It's just crazy RNG left and right. Just crazy stuff happens. It just doesn't make sense. So I don't know. Matsuyama is because the thing is Matsuyama is a triple threat. I know we always talk about him in terms of scoring. And it's true, even if he doesn't score, he does a great job of draining the goalkeeper. But you got to remember, he also provides high bonds. He has auto intercept. His intercept skill is very high, and his intercept and tackle stats are very high. He basically does everything. That's what makes him so annoying, is that even if you don't have long shooter, you'll probably still succeed in passing the ball because he also has skill block. So you'll still be able to pass or dribble or do whatever it is you need to do to keep the ball in your possession. That's really the problem. Like, even if they kept long shooter, if they removed something else, if they removed the auto intercept, or if they removed the skill block, he'd be a lot more manageable. He's this perfect storm of stuff.
He's like the perfect defensive midfielder. Especially now he's got the new dribble. It makes his dribble a bit more reliable, just a bit more.
Yeah. By the way, I got asked the question in chat. I am not a Twitch streamer. TK and Kozo have signed me to an exclusive contract to only appear on their stream. But I have played games here, so people have seen me on the stream play games. So that's what I'm referring to. I've thought about doing some independent streams, but maybe during the holidays is where you might see some action. In the second half of December, when my regular day job dies down a bit.
All right, we all look forward to that. Okay, we are looking at King's team. So, since we still have a bit of time, let's look at his deck 10. Salinas. After we have been bitching about Salinas, there you go. You have Salinas right here. I think his Salinas doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't have the. Oh, he does. So I'm just wondering, did he go all out? Nope.
Oh, he went for the catcher.
Yep. Interesting choice. So I guess his team is a toughness type Japanese team. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes.
This is a strong team. There's really not much to do here.
I think the point of placing Tsubasa here is just for the auto intercept, right? So if you are playing PvP, right, I think it is better to play Grandiose in your DM position. That's just my own opinion. And probably have your chance maker at his side.
Yeah, I think this was him just trying to accommodate the players that he had. I don't know if I would have Misaki as the central AM.
Oh, I think he needs Misaki to be the central AM because he needs Misaki to score. Hyuga can't score unless he's trailing.
I would imagine he's probably trying to score with the Suramichi, honestly.
If that's the case, the more he should move up his Tsubasa. Because from the DM positioning, right, long passes across that long distance, right, might get auto intercept. So the more he should push up his Tsubasa. That's how I feel. Kozo, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I would definitely switch the Grandiose with the Tsubasa and then put the Tsubasa in the central slot, 100%.
Yeah.
In the central AM slot.
Yep.
Right. So, anything to add on for his team? I think his team is actually pretty strong.
There's not much to do here, honestly. It's a very solid team. The like if I had to pick one player to absolutely replace, it would probably be the Ishizaki, but he needs the Ishizaki for the Luno bond. Actually, he doesn't.
He doesn't.
He doesn't.
This too.
That's the one player he's kind of out of the meta. He's still very good, but I would say that's probably, if I had to pick one player, that's the player I would replace.
Sorimachi good though.
Is Sorimachi good?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sorimachi's actually surprisingly good. In the penalty box, he's a beast.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
I don't even remember the banner that this one came off of. He just appeared one day.
I believe he is from which? Let me see. This is the Rising Sun. Oh, that means this he gotten this Sorimachi after the anniversary. This is the anniversary Sorimachi, right, King? See you later, Naturazer.
I honestly do not remember the banner that he was on, because he's really good.
And it also does come with auto intercept.
Oh,
Yeah.
he was with the 40 million banner. Okay. Gotcha.
Ah, the month after anniversary month. Okay. Yep. Alright. So I have no complaints for his team. His team is very strong in that sense that his midfield players are really strong. DM are strong as well. Defenders are considered. I would say that it's quite strong as well, especially with Bueno and this, who is that? Soda, yes. Soda.
It's Soda. It's Club
Soda
Soda.
is so strong, Soda.
Club
How
Soda.
high is the bond? Are the bonds?
46%.
42? Well, 46. Oh, yeah, I wasn't close enough to the screen. Yep.
Need a reserve keeper. Or at least wait a few days for that.
That's a good point, Kozo.
What's
That's
his
a good
name
point.
again? Zeno, yes. He might be getting either abilities, right? This coming few days.
Soon. Yeah, just before the Dreamfest drop. Alright, does he deserve a approval stamp? Come on, let me do it.
Oh, yeah. Let's
Okay.
do it.
Boom! There you go, King. Alright, let's move on to friendly games, if you guys are interested. So I believe this week is my turn, right?
I can play actually. I've got the Bappa, so might be a
Oh,
time
that's
to
great.
showcase him.
That's perfect. So, Cronocloud, our job is to criticize how bad Kozo plays.
Yep.
Make sure
Excellent.
that
I can do that.
we scrutinize his every single little mistake.
Okay. All right.
We'll try our best to do that, right? Make him uncomfortable.
Okay, let me put you guys on mute. Hey, the number is 754758.
Hi, Tyler.
I like the name of the team.
Yosha!
Or
Let me score. Sure. Me. You. What? Alright, let's get going.
yay, Bappa versus
Rama.
Rama.
Let's get started. So I believe this is not the main. I'm not sure whether this is the main deck, Romaya's main deck, because she's got a lot of accounts for some reason.
Well, let's see. Let's see what he's got. It's a debuff deck.
I think it's a.
It's just slightly.
Yep. Oh, he's got
Oh.
Mbappa as well.
This will be interesting because he's got the Dutch brothers in the AM position.
Right.
So this one is very attack heavy because you can attack from both the midfield with the dash. But see, he doesn't have the skill investment. That's where it's gonna hurt him.
Okay, once again. You see, if your intercept cannot get smooth ball keeping right, that means your intercept is not good enough. So I believe there's a grandiose. That's why there's an auto
Oh no,
intercept.
here comes Papa. So fast.
Oh, look at that.
He still needs to match up.
But oh, I see.
Yeah, without the extra 10% from his matchup win bonus, right? He is actually not that strong.
I would have just shot there personally. I would have just gone for it. Because his team is so attack heavy. He's got the 2 forwards, and he's got attackers in the AM position with strong 1-2s. You know, I would have just shot. But he does have stamina killer, so he's basically draining, you know, Kozo. So it's also not a bad strategy.
Right. So I was wondering why Kozo didn't use scouts just to pass over Brian. So because the next matchup opponent is actually tougher, which is David.
Oh, made it.
66%. And he didn't get it. What is this? So here we go. Mbappa. There's actually 3
Well-
things. Yes?
It won't succeed, but he's going for the pass. Oh,
Look at that. 2%. Is it 1% or 2%?
What?
Fine.
Schneider. Why?
Just keep trapping. Just keep trapping. You got a lot of time. You can
Oh,
just,
he's just trying to drain himself.
yeah, he can do a lot actually. Not fast enough.
No, I'm waiting for someone to wake up.
Oh, he wants to shoot with Mbappa. Okay.
Mbappa still needs a matchup though. I think the better choice will be Brian.
I would just shoot with Schneider.
Just shoot then. Because David cannot block.
Yeah. But I think outside the box.
Yeah.
Really
You're gonna
was-
get a debuff though.
Debuff is for the next.
Next section.
Yes. Yes.
Not
That's
for
what I'm
this
saying is you have to shoot or the shot will have it.
Yeah. No power that fast.
28%. Still quite high chance. Oh, he uses catch. Wow, very brave. Auto intercept.
Yeah, it doesn't fly.
Why? Why don't you match up with Rama?
With Rama, I mean, it would have been a guaranteed pass.
Oh, okay. But his Bueno doesn't even have a S interception, so he
Doesn't have this. Yeah, he's fine.
he should be fine. Scrutinization failed.
This game is fairly popular in Japan, actually. There's a bunch of commercials for it. It does well there. It's not the most popular game, but it definitely is, you know, does well.
What? Are you looking for Rival?
No.
You're looking for Schneider?
Yeah.
That's not what I expected.
Yeah, that's not what I expect as well. Because this is more like a 50-50 now. I mean, okay.
Yeah,
There we go.
I honestly expected Tiga Brown to bully, but it's because it's S30. If you had it on S99, you would have been bullied so bad.
But
My
that's-
stamina was already quite low though.
Yeah.
And his stamina was quite full.
And he's got a rainbow crit, right? So Kozo's got a
Yeah.
rainbow crit.
Plus, the pass was from Tiger Brand, right? That's 7%.
Nani!
No, Nani!
I mean, I would have looked for Rival. And I think that pass will go past Tiger Brand. Then after that, you can cut the ball back. Easier said than done. He's got skill block cancel. Oh, okay. Nani!
What? What?
What? But the ball,
That's crazy.
the ball
That's
still
crazy.
pinpoint pass. Here we go.
Where to?
I would just do Schneider.
Yeah, just slash
Schneider
United.
has no aerial shots.
Then you have to pass a
You
bit
don't, ha-
forward.
you don't have arrow shots on your
Forward and
Schneider?
the keeper might get them all.
Why don't you have arrow
I'll be
shots
in a
on your
matchup.
Schneider?
Be in a matchup too. Damn it! Okay, now this is where I get bullied.
そうか。お前やっぱり俺のことが好きだったんだな。
Why don't you have aerial shots on your Schneider?
He's Schneider is a utility Schneider.
Schneider really needs to win.
Now Teresa, good luck.
Balls.
Devin, this is Kozo playing against Romaya. Romoya, sorry. Is that
By the
crazy?
way, I will
Yes.
toss out before I forget. I meant to mention this. For anyone interested, my club is recruiting some players. We got some gaps to fill. Some of the current club members are too busy with real world stuff to participate in the CVC. So we have spots. If you're interested in a home, hit me up on Discord.
Cronocloud has been taking in homeless people.
That's right.
Me included.
That's right. So if you want to be in a club with myself and TK, hit us up.
So Devin is one of the homeless guy as well. He got picked up as well. Hi Tintin, welcome
That's
back.
right.
Yes, Devin, he changed his team name. Alright, let's go. The game is still at 0-0. In fact, the first half, most of the attacking is done by Kozo. So hopefully we'll see some counter attacks from Romoya.
角にパスを送る役目はこの俺だ。
I think he's passing to Mbappe. Let's see. Looks like he is.
Yep. Wow. He is considered lucky. Because that pass to me is quite long.
That is a long pass. I almost expected Matsu to intercept. Again, it's because we're
Look at those
already.
numbers.
Sorry, what do you say?
Let's
Look at those
see the
numbers.
numbers.
Numbers?
Papa's numbers.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, of course. It's a pass from Rival.
イタリア仕込みのカテナチオディフェンスを
Ah.
見せてやるぜ。
You guessed correctly. He can actually just shoot. It's actually still quite scary shooting from there. Ah, Nani! Oh.
Ooh,
You know, when you play soccer,
best.
yeah, when you play soccer, right? Even I mean, you play football in real life, right? As a defender or any player, right, you should never pass across your own goal. That is a no-no. It just look Rama's defensive aspects is non-existent.
誰が相手だろうと負けない。
Oh, No tackle. Actually, why didn't you get the tackle? It's easy to take, right? I mean, you just need to do the SSR rate.
Yeah, I don't know why you would have 2 dribbles and 2 passes. I think that's a bit of a waste, honestly.
Yeah, I think 2 passes is sufficient.
2 passes is like, okay, fine. Even though pinpoint pass is absolute garbage, but whatever.
Oops.
Versus 2. I would still shoot.
You have to shoot.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll dribble first. Because he's gonna block. That's the only blocker in the matchup.
cry.
I hate the animation. The animation feels so lazy to me on this one.
Yeah, it's a bit disappointing, right?
I think he has full power again, if I'm not wrong. The timing is all wrong. He's always having full power when I'm shooting.
Long Fito.
Okay, this is a little dangerous.
Not anymore.
Nope.
There's no way out for him, actually. There is no way out for him.
No, I would just shoot at, you know. Sometimes in regular PvP matches, sometimes the opponent's not willing to commit to the intercept for Matsu because it is stamina heavy. So in the wild, I might have tried for a 1-2, but yeah, no, that was rough. It's really interesting to me how much Tsubasa has fallen off the meta. It's fascinating to me that the character whose name is in the game is not really necessary in any team at the moment.
Right. That's right. Usually, right, there will be
There's always been like one.
Yes,
There's always
yes,
been
yes.
one meta, Tsubasa.
Right. You're right. In fact, the entire meta is non-Japanese player meta. It makes me a bit sad though.
Feeling for that's and look, I don't normally make predictions, but my prediction this time for the December anniversary is we're gonna see a lot of very strong Japanese players come out. They're gonna swing the meta the other way to force people to pull. So everyone has a ton of European or non-Japanese players, and they want people to spend their DBs. They're gonna just pump out a ton of strong Japanese players.
That's right. I really hope so, because I really.
My wallet doesn't hope so.
Oh no! I miss playing with a Japanese team.
Fair enough.
I mean, you don't have to get everyone during this anniversary, right? Just get those few key players, and I'm sure the banner will be back in like 3 months. Alright, so I guess he's out of full power. So this shot has a very high percentage of scoring.
Right in his face too, so. Oh, I don't. Oh no, he has full power.
He's out of full power already.
What? It seemed like because the shot was like 38k, but it's the momentum, I guess, carrying him forward.
Alright, the combination skill bonus.
The time
Yeah.
advantage also.
Because the I want to say the stat difference was at least it was a little fast, but the stat difference was like 5k or something like that. Maybe a little bit less, maybe 4. But the shot was definitely less than the punch.
Right. So there you have it, guys. And that also means that is the end of the stream. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah. I agree. Both of us struggling, to fill in the blanks in between awkward silence. In normal circumstances, I think 2% is good enough. But just because of Kozo and me myself, right? So he added. I certainly think so. All right, guys. Thanks once again for joining us. Do stay tuned for the next video, and hopefully, even if you already know how good these players are, just give our video a view, because at the end of it, you'll get wise words from Cronocloud. All right. Okay. Yeah, right. So good night, guys, and good morning, Cronocloud. All right, bye bye.